Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be my first video of 2022, and I just want to talk about the Great Resignation for a little bit and how it is impacting me as an office worker. So if you guys haven't really been keeping up to date with what the Great Resignation is, basically it's everyone realizing, oh, I hate my job, or I don't think I'm getting paid enough, or just I don't see this going anywhere. Due to COVID-19, everyone is realizing like, oh, life is short. And in addition to, I really don't want to be working in this industry. I really just want to be doing something that makes me happy. Or they're realizing that their cost of living is too high and they're just like, oh, I'm just going to cut back. I could take this lower salary job if it means I have more time to spend with my family and just be overall happier. So that is a very brief summary of what the Great Resignation is, and just a couple reasons that people are deciding to leave their job, pursuing their own like small business, or just pursuing another industry completely. So I just wanted to show you guys this quick article here on Business Insider. Another 4.5 million workers quit in the 8th month of record exits, and it shows how the Great Resignation is here to stay. Now, real quick, I think the Great Resignation is a great thing. I'm just really surprised it took like a global pandemic for people to realize like, oh, I hate my job. I could make a switch. So I think it is a great thing for people to be happier in what they want to do during their 40-hour plus work week. Newly released data shows that another record-breaking number of Americans quit in November. So as I'm recording this, it is currently January 4th of 2022. Low-wage industries saw the highest number of workers quitting, even while hiring stayed strong. It suggests that the shortage of workers in low-wage positions is likely to persist in 2022. So keep that in mind. Like lower-end workers, I'm assuming like just people that work at McDonald's, or your typical server at a restaurant who in America is just getting paid like a couple bucks an hour with tips on top. In November, workers seem to celebrate two American traditions: Thanksgiving and quitting their jobs. And I think it's a good thing that in November they saw like another peak in people quitting, because there are a lot of companies that continue to be open during holidays like Thanksgiving, and I don't support any company that is open during any of the major holidays, because I think it's important that people spend time with their family, and I just don't want to be a part of that. From the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that 4.5 million people quit their job in November, yet another record high, and 3% of the US workforce. That's up to 4.2 million workers who left in October. So, wow, like very close numbers. And just to see that number happen again month to month is pretty impressive. All told, workers have been hanging up their hats at near record rates since April of last year, so 2021. The new data shows that the need for workers stuck around in November as people left low-wage paying work at record rates. Quitting spree says that Americans want better conditions, better pay, and more fulfillment from their jobs. Totally makes sense. I agree with that 100%. Near the end of 2021, workers still had that pretty advantageous position in the labor market, and we're seeing many job opportunities out there right now and seizing them by quitting their job and taking a new one. So that's another thing that I was considering all of last year. Like, do I really want to stay in the industry that I'm staying in now? Do I really want to stay with the company that I'm currently working with? Notably, the number of people getting hired is still higher than the number of people quitting their jobs. Job openings fell slightly in November, and 6.7 million people were hired. So it's not like these people are going off and like doing absolutely nothing. They're just reassessing like, okay, I've been working at this company for X amount of years, X amount of months. It's time to switch. I don't really see a future here. So while the data doesn't show where people went when they quit, it does look like in 2021, all this job quitting was in order for people to do job switching. So instead of the great, resignation, it could be like, the great shift. It's time to do something new. The data does show that workers are parachuting out of a certain type of job, low wage work, which makes a lot of sense since there are so many jobs out there at this point. Why not go to a place that's going to pay you more? Retail trade workers also quit well above average, with the industry losing 4.4% of its workforce to quitting. So if you guys are seeing, lower quality of service in like your typical retail stores, I know I have Seen that in addition to, like the food service industry, like I said, for waiters and people that work in restaurants. At this point, I've just been more in line to kind of, cook at home and just seek other arrangements because the past couple times I've gone to restaurants, not the best service. Another thing it mentions here is lack of childcare, which in turn is keeping parents out of the workforce also, which makes a lot of sense because people in childcare, they don't typically tend to be paid, decent for the amount of work that they actually do which is odd to me because if you look at the childcare industry, you're shaping the minds of children and essentially the future of your country. So don't you think those people should be compensated fairly? But again, that's just my take on that. What remains to be seen is if labor shortages in their current form do end up being permanent, and if worker power will continue to accrue, but it doesn't seem like the quitting will ease anytime soon, suggesting that low-wage employees may still face a crunch as workers find higher pay elsewhere. So, like I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to talk about how much this is impacting me as an office worker. So I've been working from home since the beginning of COVID, March of 2019 at this point. So once that happened, my company's like, hey, you guys could work from home. So I've been working from home in this current office here that I'm recording this video, and it's been great for me at this point. I love the idea of working from home. I've saved so much money on gas, in addition to save so much time. Like it usually took like 30 minutes to commute to and from work. So I save an hour each day, which I could either spend with, my wife, my son, or making videos at this point. So that is a really big benefit to me, which is like the main reason why I have not made any type of career change at this point. If I could do my full-time job for the next 20 years in addition to building my YouTube business, I feel like I might have a good chance of retiring at that point. I want to wait to see what life is going to look like in another 10 years before I make any huge change, because at this point I just have to think financially about my family, and in addition to just getting health insurance and paying for health insurance as a self-employed person, insane. So what has happened to me? So over the last year in 2021, I've been working towards a promotion. So what I'm an analyst. At this point, I was working towards becoming a senior analyst. I did not know what the pay was going to look like, but I do know that was a promotion. And basically what I had to do was take on additional projects at my work. And I had to train another employee in my department. So I took on a couple extra projects in addition to training this new employee. So I recently was told that, hey, you're going to get that promotion that we were talking about and working you towards. And how does this relate to the Great Resignation? So what happened was there's a level above my position, and a couple of those people have left during COVID, and they left to go pursue opportunities at other companies, which in turn made a couple people in my department move up into those positions. And then I was able to get promoted into their spots. So the people that stay in the current workforce or with their current company are having opportunities to get promoted. And at this point, I'm also applying for another position within the same company that is going to be another promotion. I'm not too sure if I'll get it since I was just recently promoted, but at this point, that spot just opened up because, again, this person is going to be moving to another company, so that leaves their spot vacant and gives me the opportunity to try something new. So I'm going to be applying for that. But I recently was promoted, so that's how the Great Resignation has helped me earn more money, just because the people that are in higher positions compared to mine were able to leave their positions for a better paying job, and which in turn gave me a better paying job. So I think the Great Resignation is a great thing for each and every person, realizing that they should be doing something that is better for their lifestyle. So it also just gave me like the confidence, if anything does happen with my company that I have to consider other options, it does leave a bunch of open positions out there. So it doesn't make me stress out as much and makes me feel like I have a bunch of options out there, and is keeping me flexible. At this point, I'm not locked into any company. If anything changes with like the work from home status or anything like that that I disagree with from the company, I'm very open to just kind of pack up my stuff metaphorically, because I'm in my house, and just going to another company where I can maybe work from home, or just doing this YouTube thing. We'll see. So let me know in the comment section below, how has the Great Resignation affected you? And do you think it's a good or a bad thing? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.